everyone! Welcome back to your favorite pirate crew! Today we're going to see about Luffy using the 4 elements to attack. If you would like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave your thumbs up and subscribe to join our pirate crew. As we know, for any user to acquire power, they need to consume an Akuma no Mi, which are the oldest and perhaps one of Oda's greatest inventions in the entire manga. Introduced early in the story, Akuma no Mi have always been a vital part of One Piece's often spectacular battles. Devil fruits are incredibly rare and distinctive fruits that grant anyone who eats a single bite incredible powers. The fruits are easily identifiable thanks to their vibrant colors and intricate swirl pattern on their skin, and their very unpleasant taste. No Akuma no Mi grants the same power, but all Akuma no Mi eaters share the same weakness of being weak when they come in contact with water. So if a user falls into the sea, he won't be able to swim or move around. They also have a weakness with the sea prism stone, used to capture and neutralize the powers and abilities coming from the fruit. A trademark of the devil fruits is that they are as powerful as the user, offering greater strength to those willing to test the limits of their power and use their minds as well as their fists. Although no Akuma no Mi grant the same abilities, they are grouped into 3 classes: Zoan, Logia, and Paramecia. But to proceed to the highlight, we need to talk a little bit about Haki, the main element and indispensable for an Akuma no Mi user. Haki is the second magic system introduced in One Piece. Haki was not properly introduced until the Marineford arc, just before a 2-year time jump that theoretically marks the halfway point of One Piece, but it was hinted at several times before this arc. Haki is a way of using a person's spiritual energy in offensive or defensive ways. Unlike the powers of Akuma no Mi, which can only be obtained by consuming the rare fruit, any living person is capable of awakening their Haki, although the vast majority of people go their entire lives without knowing it exists. There are 3 types of Haki: observation, weapons, and conquesting. The observer Haki was the first type of Haki to be introduced in the series. It appeared in the Skypiea arc, well before the Marineford arc, although it was called Mantra by the citizens of Cloud Island. The observer Haki allows users to have a greater sense of the world around them, sensing the auras and intentions of other people, and even seeing a small distance into the future. This type of Haki has a variety of uses, although it is often used defensively in battle. For example, Luffy uses his observational Haki to see where an opponent will fire a weapon or other projectile, and easily dodge incredible fast attacks from an enemy he was aiming at, even if she was over a mile away and behind several walls at the time. One can also use this Haki to sense things rather than see them. The rival pirate Blackbeard used his observational Haki to measure Luffy's Haki in their various meetings throughout the manga, while a secondary character named Kobe can use his Haki to sense other people's hearts and emotions, allowing him to directly experience what they were feeling. This type of Haki is quite common after the temp jump or time skip. It allows the users to coat their body in parts or entirely in a type of invisible armor that has both offensive and defensive capabilities. While armament Haki is canonically invisible, it is visually represented by a black glow that covers the parts of the body affected by armament Haki. The most common application of armament Haki is hardening, which turns body parts into armor or weapons. On the defensive, hardening makes pieces of skin tough enough to deflect bullets and break swords, as well as reflect other attacks. It also makes attacks hit much harder. A punch with a fist coated in armament Haki can do serious damage. A Haki user can extend their hardening abilities to the weapons they are wielding, making them even more dangerous. For example, the citizens of Amazon Lily imbue their arrows with Haki, making them so powerful that they explode on impact with their target. Perhaps the most useful part of armament Haki is in its interaction with Akuma no Mi users. Akuma no Mi users are capable of using Haki just as anyone else. Often, they can mix it with their powers for new effects. Luffy's Gear 4 transformation is only possible by using his Haki to relearn the surface tension of his rubber body. It also allows Haki users to attack Akuma no Mi eaters that they otherwise could not, including Logia type users. Along with Sea Prism Stone, armament Haki is one of the few ways to neutralize the most powerful Akuma no Mi. Finally, there is the Conqueror's Haki, also known as the Color of the High King, and the rarest type of Haki. It allows users to exert their will over other living beings for a variety of effects. The few users of this Haki are considered people with the qualities of kings. Many see this extreme power as a blessing from heaven, declaring anyone who wields it capable of being the world's greatest conqueror. One of the simplest techniques that users of this Haki can perform is animal domination. We see Luffy do this several times throughout the series. At one point, he makes the animals afraid of him, but after the time jump, Luffy can make the animals obey his commands without any resistance, even powerful ones like the Kraken. Another common application of this haki is to render opponents unconscious. One of the best examples of this occurs in the Fishman Island arc. When Luffy faces 100,000 enemy soldiers, he knocks 50,000 of them unconscious with a single thought and without exerting any physical effort. When two Conqueror's haki users collide, their blows emit black rays and shock waves that are capable of hurling bystanders through the air. Oh my. What we know about haki now is literally just the basics. Basics of observation haki, weapon haki, and Conqueror's haki. As we move forward, we learn a little more about it. I think there'll be a next step in haki involving elements. I would say there was a foreshadowing, but really that would be selling less than what is sold evidence. Let me give examples of element control seen in history. So basically, we saw several characters use elements of nature in their attacks. Sabo, who had no devil fruit apparently, used the power of this haki or wind to destroy the Colosseum ring. The move ended with the word breath, which makes me think Sabo created the wind. Luffy's red Hawk of Luffy is my biggest example for this theory. With just the addition of haki, he was able to use fire literally out of nowhere, and it's clearly not just from armament, because if so, Luffy would always be on fire when his armament was ready. I believe that fighters can master a form of nature with haki. Different fighters have different elements that are a representation of that person's spirit or personality. Then you go that element into existence, because that is all haki is, willpower, or the power of your spirit is the same thing. Luffy made fire underwater, so he clearly willed that flame into existence. Assuming that Luffy has all four elements in his fruit-related bag of skills, we must first analyze. Each of the characters in One Piece showed us one of their abilities related to elemental nature. Luffy, Red Hawk, fire. King Zoan has fire around him. Kaido/Yamato, thunder, Byakuya, thunder. Whitebeard's commanders have electricity running through their swords. I don't remember their name. Water. Fishman, Jinbei controlling the water currents. Jinbei, when throwing Luffy in front of three admirals, he was able to hold the water and make an attack. Wind. Monkey D. Dragon always has wind around him. Maybe I'm wrong, but Shanks and Whitebeard clashed and split the sky, and Shanks emitting pressure that put cracks on the ship. Maybe it was air pressure or advanced haki, because so far, except for him, Shanks, we have not seen any powerful Conqueror user breaking things just by emitting haki. Earth. Maybe it's related to the gains that we see in Albath art, yet to be found related to Earth. I am using a Deadly 7 reference here, by the way, where gains specialized in Earth manipulation. We've seen McGuy using lightning, and know that he doesn't have a Devil Lightning fruit. Luffy's fire, Sanji's fire, Sabu's wind, and even Zoro used fire against Ryumi. So there are many people in the story using elemental powers without any explanation. This being the next step in haki would answer so many questions. Besides adding new ones like what determines your element, I believe Sabo may have become wind because of Dragon. Possibly Dragon trained him to use wind with his haki. The second question would be, can you learn more than one element? What is even stranger is that the monster trio have fire as their current element. Maybe people with similar spirits have an affinity for the same elements. Maybe being around people with the same element just passes on to you. Who knows? Well, Oda knows, but he's stingy in sharing information. Maybe you can have more than one element too, but we'll have to see about that. Well, that's it, my Mugiwara. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for a video, don't forget to comment below, because I'll be reading them as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.